Hi, this is Corina Angela, and today I wanted to read you an entry from my book, Transference, Connect Your Soul Self. It was written in 2019 with Edgar Cayce and Gladys Davis Turner, and it took 4 months to write. Um, and then it took several years to publish. So I just wanted to share some really pertinent information that perhaps will help many people out there. Okay. For those of you that have bought my book, thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it. And those of you that have not yet, please do so. That'd be great. Because it's an amazing book. It's alive. It's and it's just got so many amazing tips and gems and expansion. It's really a book to help you connect to your soul self, but also uh, for the children of the new world. So yeah, I really dedicate this book to continuing Edgar and Gladys's legacy, but as well to help the children of the world who have no voice. Entry number 4. This was written on April 2nd, 2019, and the time start was 7:15 a.m. and the time end was 7:29 a.m. And the entry is called Telepathy. Being different is your brilliance. Your difference is your brilliance. You are your own mentor when you are in your brilliance. Edgar Cayce. Excited, I sprung out of bed this morning, eager to connect with Edgar and Gladys. We went through the same connection process as yesterday, and I'm feeling a nice rhythm settling into my body. I arrived at our same meeting place with my black notebook in hand and greeted Edgar and Gladys with a smile. I had my first question already queued up for Edgar. They were always ready and prepared for me when I arrived. It seemed and I felt that they knew which questions that I would ask. Q&A. CA, Corina Angela. What is telepathy? EC, Edgar Cayce. It is streams of consciousness in the ebb and flow back and forth within the mind's eye. Dialoguing, communication in the flow. It depends upon what frequency, vibration the other person is experiencing. A solid matter of streaming consciousness. CA, I understand. And the more you use it, the stronger it gets. EC, precisely. Children with telepathy are very important to connect with and to teach how to hone in on their gifts early in their life, to allow them to be heard and to better understand their way of being. This builds up courage, strength, and confidence within them. Most of all, the connections with others who understand them will enable them to not feel so isolated in the world. CA, this seems very natural to me. Why is there so much resistance then? So now I'm asking Edgar, I want him to go deeper. I'm like, why is there so much resistance? It's 2019. Why is there so much resistance? And, years and years later, it's 2025. It's opened up so much and I'm so excited and it's changed dramatically, I feel. EC, there are many children with resistance who are seen as different in the world. The difference is their brilliance. I'm going to read that again. And I'll speak specifically to the ones that are listening. Your difference is your brilliance. So being different is fantastic, right? Being different is your brilliance. We are to work with children with second sight and to help them evolve into their wisdom because you have so much wisdom to share. Working with these children needs to evolve a different structure, curriculum, and attention to energy in these unique schools. It is a different way of learning. This will evolve. So Edgar here is giving a snapshot into the future of, there will be new structures, new curriculum, and specific energy given to these unique schools that will be created. And it's just so exciting because he's saying, this will absolutely evolve. And, this was written 6 years ago. And look at 2025 now, what has happened with the telepathy tapes. I mean, it's just fantastic and so exciting. So when I'm rereading this, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so supported and our conscious awareness is expanding tenfold. And I'm just so incredibly grateful. CA, I agree. It is so important for the evolution of our planet here. And I hope this soon will evolve. And it is years later. So with the wonderful help of the telepathy tapes. And if you haven't heard the telepathy tapes, they're available, I believe, on YouTube and yeah, I think they're on Spotify. They're everywhere. So and they're for free, and you can listen to them and connect with them. I've listened to all of them, and it's just for those of us that are different and are unique, that is our brilliance. And it's wonderful to hear other people's stories of their hardships and what they've gone through because we can connect so deeply with them and understand them um, to a grander capacity and to have more compassion and to open up our hearts even more to understand them more readily and deeper and have create those wonderful connections with them in different ways. EC, yes, and that is it for now. CA, thank you, Edgar. So my experience of Edgar and Gladys is that they appear to be this yin and yang energy. Yeah. And it feels very balanced, very grounded, and pretty amazing. I should mention that Gladys is recording everything that is transpiring within this process that I can tap into her to recall the memory of our meeting at any time if I feel overwhelmed or have forgotten anything. So this is like, this is a step-by-step process of writing this book because every day that I would tap in with them, I was learning something new, something different, a new process. And it's a snapshot of this everyday step by step of what I was experiencing. So you get a snapshot of live on that day of what I was going through, what I was receiving, and all the questions that I had. Some days I had a lot of questions, some days I had no idea what to ask. I'm like, what do I ask? What do I do? So it was the ebbs and the flows of, wow, what's really transpiring here? What's what's really happening. So this is, it's a play by play, let's say. Yeah. Um, so if I would usually forget and, I'd have to reread certain entries and some I just wouldn't even reread. So, but I always knew that Gladys would have, the memory backup, the recall. I could just tap into her and be like, okay, what was that part? And she'd be like, "Whoop." It was quite, it's a very interesting process. The process as I am experiencing it is brilliantly orchestrated. Edgar is straightforward, quick, and staccato-like, with an uncanny way of tapping into all that is. I am learning so much and I am so incredibly grateful. I find this all very fascinating and I am so intrigued. I began to do more research on children and telepathy and how we may evolve while learning more about this. The New Kids on the Block, a global phenomenon by Mary Rodwell, 2006. Is humanity changing as a species? Question mark. Renowned prophet and healer Edgar Cayce, 1877 to 1945, not only spoke of a new humanity and referenced to it as the fifth root race, but he also predicted that it would appear in the years 1998 to 2010. Metaphysicians and other gurus also shared the belief and the anticipation of this recent emergence of the new type of human they call indigos. They are also referred to as children of the new millennium, crystal children, children of light, golden children, just to name a few. So he gave me a list of, just all of these different types of children that are coming in, rainbow children. And I mean, there's so many that are just this influx, this beautiful surge, even in 2025. But over the last 6 years, there's been many that have come in to our earth and are here and they know things and they're tapped in and turned on and it's pretty fascinating. It's extremely exciting. So let's see. This community is conducting research into the extraterrestrial phenomenon as experienced by children. Their exploration thus far have produced such terms as the new humans, or more commonly, star children. The profiles of these indigo children share the same attributes or are strikingly similar. They are highly intelligent, creative, psychic, and telepathic, and they possess healing and clairvoyant abilities. Indigo children also share an inherent capacity to articulate, express knowledge, and awareness of deep spiritual concepts, as well as historical anthropology and scientific data that is far beyond the capacity of even the most learned scholars. Their ability to access and articulate this information is independent of their age, level of cognitive development, and level of education, plus numerous other pertinent factors. This confronting evidence has even captured the attention and interest of the Chinese government, who are researching children who possess exceptional human function, EHF, more commonly referred to as China's super psychics. Unfortunately, this research also suggests that these children are so different that they are often misunderstood, and described as suffering from ADD, attention def ADD, defective or disorder. Sorry, I get tripped up on words sometimes. That's kind of funny. Dr. Diane Hensley Powell. Autistic children may have enhanced telepathic abilities. So here's where the interesting part comes in because I had no idea of Dr. Diane Powell's work in 2019. And when Ed, so I'm gonna tell a little backstory here. Edgar, when we were writing this, and Gladys, all three of us together, and I'm writing in 2019 in April. He was very adamant about Dr. Oh, I'm getting chills. Dr. Diane Powell and her work. And I did, so as a neutral observer, when I'm with, let's say their spirit or energy or however you want to depict it, in your own way of processing this information, um, he was just very adamant about her work and how important it was for the future. So fast forward many years, and now with the telepathy tapes and you know, her amazing ability to connect and do these case studies, and be a part of the development of the telepathy tapes. And now she's gone on to do so many other amazing things and opening up her new institute. And I mean, it's just amazing. It's just she's helping in so many ways, and I'm so happy that Edgar was so adamant about having her in the book and referencing her. Um, and at the time in 2019, I had no idea who this amazing woman was, and now I do, and it's I just feel really honored and so excited of the work that she's doing. Um, for all of us in the world. So I just wanted to add that in. So Dr. Diane Hensley Powell, families and caregivers of several autistic children have reported incidences in which children under their care know what others are thinking. They are aware of their conversations that take place outside of their presence and know who is about to knock on the door or call on the telephone. Such accounts have largely been ignored or dismissed by the science community. The work of Dr. Diane Hensley Powell, a nationally prominent Johns Hopkins trained neuropsychiatrist and former clinical instructor in psychiatry at Harvard Medical School, may change this. Among the autistic children that Dr. Powell has studied is 11-year-old Haley, whose father contacted. Sorry, I get really emotional when because yeah, yeah, I don't have to explain. Right. I'm just elated and excited and um, just so present. So, yeah. Hmm. So, whose father contacted Dr. Powell in 2003 on the recommendation of an autism specialist. Although Haley's speech was severely limited, her parents believed her to be a mathematical savant. She could answer almost any math problem she was asked to solve. What Powell and her fellow researchers discovered was that Haley could only answer questions that were already known to the therapist or researcher working with her. It's fascinating, right? In other words, she wasn't solving difficult mathematical problems herself. She was reading the mind of the person who knew the answer. Or who was looking at a calculator which revealed the answer. This was proven when the battery power on the researcher's calculator went out and the researcher began using her iPad. The iPad was set up to provide answers in the form of these equations, whereas the calculator displayed answers in the form of exponentials. Once the researcher moved to using the iPad, Haley immediately began answering in logarithmic equations. I don't know if I said that right. I get tripped up on words. Further testing revealed that Haley knew the last name of her therapist's landlord. I mean, that's so cool. And the name of a book the therapist was thinking about. When the researcher made a mistake, so did Haley. So that's fascinating. I mean, look into that. It's like, mhm, interesting, right? From the very beginning, Edgar would give me exercises to do on my own for my own personal experience and expansion. I found the clairvoyant streaming exercise below particularly interesting. This exercise is a great way to build confidence and learn to trust your own abilities. So I am sharing it with you. So then it goes into this actual exercise. There's 28 exercises within this book and 44 random, a variety of different entries based on what Edgar and Gladys wanted to convey and to go deeper into the information. So that's how it's structured. Um, but it goes into this amazing exercise, and it's exercise one, clairvoyant streaming. And I guess I'll just read it. So yeah, I'll just read it. And yeah, I'll just actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop here and thank you so much for listening. And then I'm gonna record the exercise next. Okay, so you can re-listen to this. Um, Reading from my book, Transference, Connect to Your Soul Self. And this was entry number 4 that I just read. And the entry is called Telepathy. And it was written on April 2nd, 2019 with Edgar, Cayce, and Gladys Davis Turner. So thank you so much for listening today. I hope this was helpful, and how can we better understand each other and be more compassionate with others who are brilliant and different and amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm Corina Angela. And until the next video, thank you so much for listening.